All right, welcome back to GameChanger. So in today's video, I'll be walking you all through how to do a lock transformation, cutting off locks, and doing a low taper fade. So my client here, he's been growing them out for years. I used to cut him before he had locks, then he grew locks. So now he's back again. So a few things I'll be walking you all through. If you look around his edges, around the temple of his head, his hair is thinner. He has very thick, amazing hair, but his edges are a little bit thinner than the thickest part of his hair. So that means he has inconsistent densities. That can always be a challenge because when the client's hair is thicker in the middle than it is on the ends or the edges or around the temple, it can be very difficult to make that a seamless transition. So I'll walk you all through that as well. So if you look, he's keeping a mini fro, so I want to keep as much hair as possible. So the way I do that is if you look where I'm grabbing, I'm looking where the hair was locked at last, where the product was added, where it was twisted at, and then I'll cut right below there. We want to keep as much, even though we're not going to keep all of that after we shape it, we want a nice healthy place to start at. Then I'll wash them, clean them up, comb it out, and after I cut them, I'll shape them up to its desired length. So whenever you're cutting off locks, it's always best to keep as much hair so that way you can study the growth patterns, kind of do a consultation with yourself. Okay, what do we have to work with? What is working against us? And we go from there. That's how I learned about the density issues. So one thing I want to point out and give my client major kudos on, his scalp is very, very clean. I know a lot of times when clients have grown out locks or any longer hairstyle, it's very hard unless they get professional treatment to get those roots nice and clean. Man, his scalp was so fresh. I noticed that as I cut, so I have a great appreciation for that. It makes my job easier. And yeah, so after we cut these locks off, next thing we'll do is pick the hair out. And then I'm actually going to cut it to his desired length because of how clean the scalp is, and we can do all the wash and stuff later. So cut the locks off, comb it out. I think he's getting about a 3 or 4. I can let you know for sure once I start to cut it down. But yeah, but look right there at the temple of his lower temple. It's a little thinner around the edges. Actually, that whole area right up in there is thin. So as I'm picking it out, I'm noticing, okay, thicker middle, thinner edges. Remember that. Some of the ways you usually combat that is with debulking the thicker areas to give it a nice smooth transition. So right now, yeah, I'm cutting it down to a 4. I go against the grain. Sometimes when you're cutting hair down that's thicker, instead of trying to get that blade comb, which is the white guard, all the way down to the root, take a little bit off. You take some of that bulk out of where you're cutting and you take a few passes through so that way you don't rush yourself through that process. So literally also, everything is observation, right? I use my time wisely for the most part. I'm not a big conversation person. While I'm cutting, I'm usually studying. So while you're cutting the hair down, you're literally looking for density issues. You're looking for edge up issues. And then as you find these issues, you're playing in your mind, how do I work this out, right? So I'm really a mental multitasker when it comes to a haircut. I kind of deeply enthrall myself into the process and we go from there. You can tell this is an old video because I don't even use those clippers anymore. Still love them though, shout out. So when it comes to doing the low taper, I take into account a few things. I don't even have those no more. My son will take them apart. The density is a very, very big issue because if you don't approach this like there's density issues, what happens is you get knee deep into this fade and you have one hard line, not a line that you created, but because you were fading and blending and didn't take into account that thick to thinness ratio or density line or zone, you were totally, for lack of a better word, yourself, right? Gonna bleep that out. But yeah, so what you want to do is right now, see, I'm attacking that line. I'm slowly taking density out. You can go with the grain or you can go against the grain with a bigger guard. But right now, my primary focus is to attack the density. And that's before I debulk. So taper process, if you've seen any of my other videos, you'll know it go primary line, which is the line that I put in with those trimmers that I said I don't use anymore. Secondary line is with those clippers right here, the Ergo Gamma that I don't use anymore. And then you fade in the first line to this first section. And we'll talk about that at the back because I don't want to give y'all too much at one time. And right now I'm just notch hitting. I'm using the corner of the blade to attack certain areas to give me a nice full spot, nice clean fade. Do y'all see how I took a lot of that density issue away? I could never make a client's hair thicker but I can take away some density to make it transition, or the illusion that he has a consistent density of hair throughout his head. I hope that makes sense. So yeah, my job is to work with what I have and craft a masterpiece with what's given. That fade look good as hell to me. So now let's talk about the fade process. Primary line is this line right here. It separates the skin from the hair, gives a nice cream crunch on the smoothly transition fade. Transition fade. All right. I'm debulking right now. I'm just doing some shadow order because my OCD kicks in sometimes, just like on this voiceover. And I had to attack that bulk. But ordinarily, in a normal circumstance, right here, I'll do a secondary line. Primary line was with the edges. Secondary line is with this trimmer right here. It's usually about an inch wide, but that also depends on the density. So my fade process is this now. First step, I want to fade this primary line that I created with the trimmers into the primary section that I created with those clippers that I'm using right now, right? I don't want to take this line away. I don't want to push it bald and take all this hair away. I want to fade it into the section. Fade this primary line into the primary section. That's my first step. Second step, I'm going to debulk that secondary line, which is the line that I created with the clippers that I'm using at the moment. I don't mean to talk to y'all like y'all slow, but I want to break it down. I'm going to debulk that line that I'm tapping right now with about a 1.5 guard or a 2 guard, which is what I should be pulling out right now. Please, God, yes, you can debulk. That's like a tiger claw method where I go and I debulk a fro sometimes with the grain or the downward motion, and then I come back and I debulk against the grain. The clippers are usually with this process flat on the scalp, and I'm trying to take away quite a bit of hair, but I'm fading it out. Usually when I fade, I take away a little and work a lot. But when I'm debulking, I take away a lot, and then I still flick at the end to transition smoothly. I really hope that makes sense. I tried to talk y'all through that as best as possible. If not, y'all gonna talk shit about me in the comments anyway. So after I debulk, right, because when you're cutting a fro, it is super important on removing density in the fading areas, because if you don't remove density, I don't care how good you are, that fade will look choppy. The client will go home, wash their hair, style their hair in a different way than you did at the shop, and now it'll look weird. A fro is a very complex cut because if you do not take away the mass or the bulk around the fade point area, then it can look bulky. So I spend so much of my time when I'm doing a taper in a fro, taking away bulk, taking away bulk, taking away bulk. So now I'm using a 1 guard. Oh my God, I had guards with no teeth for like 7 years, Jesus Christ. And then after I do that, the final step is to blend the secondary line that I'm debulking right now into the primary section. And that's how you do any type of fade on any type of texture, I promise. So right now I'm bulking. Y'all watch, I'll be back when it's time. Okay, something that's super important too, that's not really standard when tapering anything but a fro. There's so many little pockets of hair, like density pockets that stay thick and thin. You're gonna go back and hit those individually. Like right now, like I'm looking for areas, I'm fading, ooh, right here, the hair. And then he has, in the back of my guy's hair, he has so many growth patterns. That can be so, not depressing, what's the word? It can really harm the confidence of a new barber. Use your comb and don't fight the hair. So many barbers want to make their hair lay the way they want it to lay, and you don't get the desired look. Comb it the way the hair wants to go. That's the best way. That's my best tip. When you're fading, stop fighting the growth pattern. Comb it or brush it that way. Don't use a brush. We comb. You comb it that way, and then you fade it against that way. That means you have to learn the art of knowing your clipper. See that? I'm combing now. I'm fading upside down and at a different angle. Take your time. When it comes to haircutting, right? I'm about to go on my little diatribe. Listen to me, right? So my kids know when that voice comes, we about to talk. You have to take your time. And one of the most important things when it comes to being a barber, you have to have great wrist. You have to be able to be loose at the wrist, but have a smooth, flowy type stroke. Pause. Smooth, flowy type stroke and wrist movement. Whether that be short, choppy strokes, they have to be smooth. Whether that be longer strokes, they have to be smooth. When you learn the art of using your wrist and manipulating your body, taking your time, using your eyes, knowing what you see, it doesn't matter what tools you use. No offense to any clipper company out there. Obviously, some tools are better than others. Learn your body is the ultimate tool. And that sounds so lame, but it's true. My skills come from my mind. It comes from my ability to use my hand and work my hands, to let my hands and my mind work together. Master you. Strong wrist, use the comb, take your time. And obviously, the more reps, the better you are. 10,000 hours of perfection, not just of cuts. Because you can do a bullshit haircut, but I want 10,000 hours of the best quality cut that you can do. All right? Y'all enjoy the wash. I'll be back. All right, so after the wash, we want to dry it. We don't want to dry it all the way, but just make it a little damp, because we're still going to style it. He's going to style it. But when they see that wash right there, it's not going to hide that bulk. So now when I wash the hair, it lays the hair in this natural growth pattern. So it shows me areas that I have to come back and hit. I would hate for him to go home and see that. So what I do is I wash it, manipulate it, get it to revert, and then I re-hit. You see what I'm saying? Now, I want to take this moment to give myself an ad that I deserve. I want y'all to really check out the GameChanger shave gel. If you're a barber or you cut your hair at home or whatever, I really want you to get this shave gel opportunity. I put as much time and care into this as I did any haircut I've ever done. It took me 2 years to produce it. I went to a local cosmetic laboratory here in the state that I'm from. I met with chemists and biologists, and I told them what I do and don't like about products. Made it thicker. I coat one of the main ingredients is aloe to moisturize the skin pre and post shave, but it gives a nice clean finish, clean look. It doesn't flake on the skin. The preservatives that are used to keep it on the shelves are high quality products that won't irritate the skin over time. Like, I really put my heart and effort into this. So y'all give it a chance. Buy a bottle. Go to the website, look at the bottle, go to my Instagram, watch me use it on a few reels, but look at it right now. Smooth, clear, transparent. You can see through. I mean, it's a good quality product. So y'all go check out the GameChanger Shave Gel. If y'all get a chance at GameChanger Cosmetics and buy a bottle, $20, 12 ounces. It'll last you for a minute. It's a good quality, thick, high value product. So yeah, when it comes to edging up, biggest thing, take your time and follow the natural curve. Luckily for me, I like to use the bendable razor on my least dominant side with my dominant hand. So that's right to left hand. It gives a nice, easy curve. What I'm doing here is I'm debulking before I edge it up. When you're doing a fro, what happens sometimes, that hair curls, runs, you never get a nice, full, clean look. But when you debulk, take out some of that bulk and the edge up, shout out to the GameChanger Shave Gel again, now the hair lays flat. Also, the gel is thicker, so it's weighted. The hair doesn't run and move as you edge. Just try the damn gel out. Y'all like it. All right. Oh yeah, look at my offhand. I'm stretching from the top and the bottom. Why? The tighter the skin when you're shaving, the easier it is for the razor to glide across that skin, especially when it's accompanied by the GameChanger Shave Gel. All right, I'm gonna chill now. All right, then so yeah. Y'all check this out. It's looking good. It's coming through great. I'll be back soon. All All right, so after we let the gel dry in, which it didn't flake up, like I told you it wouldn't, we come back, put a nice finish on the edge up, go against the grain, get the nice small fragments of hair shaft and give it a night. That's looking really, really, really. Do y'all remember this man came in with locks? Okay. Now, when it comes to the back of the edge up, we want to keep it nice, natural, wide. I don't care how sharp it is. Yes, I do, but I'm not finna sacrifice a pushback for a sharp look. We're gonna work with what a client naturally has. Worst case scenario, our tiger claw method, pull some of that out, debulk some of those thicker spots where density is an issue and give it a nice clean finish. But ultimately, I want to keep it nice and natural. That is looking phenomenal. I don't think I said that right, but it don't matter. That shit look good. All right, so, but yeah, simple. Same thing with the beard. Shout out to the GameChanger Shave Gel. Don't require much. Nice light touch. Look at that skin glowing, pre-moisturized. Then after the shave, it doesn't dry up. No alcohol in it. So it keeps it nice and lubricated. Go to the website and buy the gel. All right? Now it's looking good. I always pour from the cheek. I start as high as the hair will grow, usually by the eye, because believe it or not, even though you can't see that micro hair, it gives a nice, clean, finished look when it's all gone. So that's the end of this video. I appreciate y'all. I know I kind of got off topic a little bit, but I pray that y'all got everything that y'all needed. I pray God has been good to y'all. Life has been great. The family's healthy. Take our time with this shit. None of us are perfect. We go through things, but we're going to figure it out. All right? Shout out to the Shave Gel. I will see y'all soon.